Hey, welcome to the Blerd Dad podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Lawrence, and this is the podcast where we have just an impromptu, kind of just free flowing talk about fatherhood. Talk about being a dad as a black dad, and I'm super excited to be here with you all. We have 5 weeks, I believe. 5 weeks left until the baby is here, so that is crazy. It's really inspiring to see everything that my wife has been doing to keep the baby together. Oh, let's look at my hair. Hair is popping. Everything's good. This is good. This is probably the best I'm going to look until this kid comes out. You know what I mean? Because I hear once the kid is out, all of a sudden, all bets are off, and you just look disheveled all the time. So this is good, man. I'm super excited for this episode. I got a good buddy of mine, Kevin Lewis, on. He's an amateur boxer, coach, personal trainer, musician, aspiring martial artist. He's also a music producer and an entrepreneur coming out of PG County, Maryland. He started autodidactic training and kickboxing at like the age of 12, and then he's done competitive boxing and kickboxing from like 24 on. He's trained a lot of professional athletes. He's assisted youth and outreach programs, and he's done some physical training programs with the Uniformed Armed Services. So he's done a lot in the training field. And as I have started to get back into fitness, I realized that I'm going to need somebody to help me with my hands, and I'm going to need my son to also get his hands together. So there'd be no better person than Kevin to talk to about that. Now, a word from our sponsors, because we always like to do this. Sponsors, once again, They Made Me Wear It. I'm going to keep talking about them until you go out and get yourself some nice pet gear from them. It's a husband and wife team. They're on a mission to help dogs discover their fashionable side, and they do that very well. They do it with a lot of gusto and pizzazz. So you'll be happy to get your pet, some new gear. I think they might have started selling shoes. No, I'm just joking. I always like put up these things. I always say these things that they did. One day I'll get really, really awesome at reading the copy for this. But whether you're looking for an awesome Halloween costume or adorable dress, comfy jammies, or custom designer gowns, your fur baby will love wearing the latest fashions from They Made Me Wear It. Also, when shopping their store, you're contributing to Hope for Paws. It's an animal rescue organization that works tirelessly to rescue and save the lives of abandoned animals. So what are you waiting for? Go check out They Made Me Wear It. Use code word BLERD, that's capital BLERD, at checkout for 15% off the entire store. Well, what do you know? So we'll just jump right into it and get to talking to my buddy here, Kevin, because I can't wait to hear what he says about, training these youth and dealing with the youth. So let's go ahead and bring my buddy in here. Kevin, what is going on, bro? How you doing? How you been?
I'm doing good. I had some technical difficulties because I was using the speaker, and I guess it was interrupting the mic. But yeah, I just got done. I just got done with work, so.
Okay. See, he's always out there and he's working constantly all the time, man. So first of all, tell the people a little bit about yourself, and then we'll just jump into it because I got a ton of questions for you.
Okay. So, first of all, first things first, I'm a boxing coach. I started off as a kickboxer. I was mostly autodidactic, which means that I was self-taught. And then when I got in front of a coach, they taught me how to do it the right way, and I just became a sponge. So everything that I was doing at first made more sense. And then I started learning a lot faster than most, people who just start. And then, then I took off from there. I grew up skateboarding. I was always interested in nerdy stuff. So, I made music. I grew up making music, and I'm just a regular old average Joe, just trying to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I could definitely feel that. Here's a cool thing. like you have worked with kids a bunch, right? And so I'm about to be a dad here. And one of the things that I was thinking is I don't want my kid to be bullied. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that
Absolutely.
he could take care of himself because I grew up scared, you know what I mean? Like having to
Right.
worry about bullies and stuff like that. And I was also autodidactic, you know, but I didn't learn, you know, from any coaches. I learned from like Wesley Snipes, you know what I'm saying? From like Passenger 57. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right,
that's how I was learning from like Blade.
right.
So I was doing all, you know, like Leroy Jenkins. That's how I learned
You
how
see,
to
that's how
fight.
I started off too. That's how I started. See, I was watching stuff like Power Rangers and Dragon Ball Z and all that, and I used to get bullied when I was little because I'm a small dude. I'm like 5'7", but at that time I was small. So I was like, enough is enough, and I started watching those movies and TV shows. I started practicing at home.
Yeah, see, I mean, I feel like that's how most people start like their fight training or whatnot. But as I grew up, I started doing more actual training in the gym, and then I got to
Yeah,
see you, you know what I'm saying, at UFC Gym, and then we, you know, got into sparring and doing a little bit of you know, mixing it up and whatnot. And I just think it's something that all kids should probably get into to learn because I feel
absolutely.
like one thing is once you learn how to actually fight and you've actually done combat sports, you're less prone to bully or be bullied. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like an equalizer. Everybody's kind of good. So talk a little bit about that, like what you've seen in kids in terms of like giving them the self-confidence to not have to be a bully or not get bullied.
Right. So the one thing I've done is take the psychological approach because I know how boxing and kickboxing and being bullied and sparring and I know how that has affected me mentally. But when I first started, I was so nervous to spar that I damn near almost puked and pooped on myself because I was so nervous. But when you spar or when you fight, it not only teaches you how to take pressure in life, it gives you confidence. It's like if I could if I could take someone punching me in the face, I could take anything. It gives you that confidence. You do the training, you do the workouts, and you suffer, and then once you get over it, your body has reached a new ceiling, and now you know what pressure is, you know what pain is, you know what suffering is. So for any kid that I put them through that. So any kid that goes through that, they instantly start getting more confidence. It's like they don't need any affirmation from anyone. They get it from themselves. They see the work they're putting in, and they reach new heights physically, and mentally it shows as well. So yeah, I work with a lot of kids. I see how when I train them, how you know how much confidence they get just from feeling that suffering of working out and I don't want to do it. And then when they finally accomplish that thing they've been working so hard on, you literally can't tell them like you can't tell them anything. They got so much confidence. They feel like they can do anything. They can change the world if they wanted to. So
Well, you know, like I want to take him to you, but I don't want him to have that much confidence too young because I don't want him to try to check me. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like I need to still be in charge for at least until he's like 6 or so. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, what's like the youngest or the age that you think a kid should start doing something like this? Because it is kind of taxing on your body, and you want
Yeah.
to be mindful of that when you're working with kids.
Well, I would say, I mean, from what I've seen in the boxing community, I think most kids or a lot of the great fighters you see started at ages like between 4 and 6, damn near out the womb, and I think their parents had. I think what most parents know, obviously, is that the earlier you get them started, the better conditioned mentally and physically that they are. And I know that a lot of parents they see that kids when they're fighting and sparring and they're doing like all these like physically demanding things. They're like, oh, I don't want my kid to get hurt. I don't want them to get injured. But they're young, they heal, and you know it's a lot better than watching kids beat the hell out of each other in Thailand. Like they go crazy over there, but over here, they got headgear, they got mouth guards, so they're gonna get some bumps and bruises like any other kid. It's just that they'll learn how to take it better,
Right.
especially when they're dishing it out and they're receiving it and they know how to receive it. So
But that's the cool thing about when you're doing any type of sport. Really,
Yeah,
it teaches them how to persevere through pain, because
right.
sometimes there's pain when you're actually injured, and then there's hurt. You know what I mean? Like the coach would always say,
Exactly.
"Are you hurt or are you injured? If you're injured, you can't go. If you're
Right.
hurt, you got to like fight through it." And I think during the training and going through kind of like a program like you have, really helps them understand those two things and push through it. It kind of builds character, when you
Oh,
can push
absolutely,
through a little pain.
absolutely. It brought me a sense of confidence that I needed when I was a kid. When I was little, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I questioned myself both mentally and physically, and even when I was in school and I didn't understand anything, I was so scared to ask questions, and I felt like even growing up, I had a lack of confidence that made me lose a lot of time when it comes to great things that I could have done so young. Like there's greatness to be achieved when you're so young because the world hasn't ruined you yet. It hasn't, once you grab a hold of the world at that age, and then you feel like anything's possible. So when I started boxing or kickboxing, like seriously, it was like early age of like 22, 23, and I got in late, but it gave me a sense of confidence that I really needed ever since I was young, and now I'm just like, I could beat you up, but I choose not to. You know what I mean? Like you try me, but it's not gonna happen.
It also, you feel a little bit safer too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like just walk, you feel like you could take care of yourself. You don't have
absolutely.
to, like, I feel like once you don't have to puff out your chest, then you don't go around puffing out your chest. You don't, going
Exactly.
around trying to check people or whatever. Like you already know, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and there's a respect factor that you learn. Like when you in the I don't know how to let's say like I got a gun and you got a gun, right? And we both know we got a gun. The question is, who gonna take the heat? Do I want to pull mines out and start shooting? You know what I'm saying? We have there's a respect factor. It's like either we're both crazy and we just start shooting out, or we both just respect the fact like, all right, if I pull this out, then he definitely gonna start
Right.
blasting off. Like, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And it's like that in the gym. It's like, what this guy's capable of. He knows what you're capable of, and the question is, do we really want to find out, or are we just gonna like have a line of respect between each other and spar lightly, or go hard sometimes, but we both got guns, so it's
Yeah.
respect factor. I don't need to show both. I don't need to show you how big my gun is.
Well, you know what? The funny thing too is when you have been fighting, right? You
Yeah,
realize that there doesn't separate, like, even if you are more skilled, there's not a lot that separates you getting knocked out, you know what I'm saying, versus
right,
somebody
right.
who has a little bit less skill. Like,
Yeah,
you know that once you step in there, it has to be zero, like 0 or 100, because like any wrong move, you could get hit. You know what I mean? You just have a much more of a respect for what it means to have physical combat
right,
or whatever.
right,
Whereas people who don't fight, they don't know that. So a lot of times they're
right,
like, "Yeah, I'll knock anybody out."
right, right,
Like, a fighter might be like, "Yeah, I'll knock you out," and I'm pretty sure I'll knock you out. But like
right,
at the same time, it's like I don't really want to take it there because there's also the chance, you know what I'm saying, that it doesn't go your way. And the more
exactly.
times you've been fighting, the more you realize that you're like,
Yeah.
you know,
The truth is, everybody has a puncher's chance, and I've seen dudes who have years of experience get pieced up by somebody who was just aggressive and super athletic. I've seen it happen. Like, I think the difference in between that experience and those who aren't experienced is that, I mean, there is the confidence factor too. Like, a confident person can very well knock out a person who's been training for years because they have the aggression to make up for that lack of training. And I'm not saying that somebody can't just come off the street and knock out Mayweather or some crazy stuff like that. But
although Logan Paul's going to try.
he gonna try. And you know what? This might sound crazy, but again, everybody has a puncher's chance. Logan's been training, I can't tell you how often or how good he is, or how I can tell you he's not great, and he's damn sure
Right.
not that good. But all I'm saying is that if he's been doing the work, he's most certainly has a puncher's chance, and I'm sure Mayweather, being as experienced as he is not going to take him super lightly. He'll probably take it lightly, but not super lightly. You can still get hurt no matter who you are, you know.
I just don't want him coming out like Damon Wayans in The Great White Hype. Remember that? And remember that? I hope it doesn't end up like that movie. You know what I'm saying? Where he comes
Right.
out just super you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
unathletic, and he's
Right.
been smoking and eating. Fucking
Hey, he been working. I've been watching some of his videos. He been working. He been taking it a little serious, you know. Especially at his age, you can't take anything lightly at that age. Like
one of our favorite fans, Gabriella, said, "I'll try to knock Mayweather out for 100 million."
look, pay me. I will get knocked out by him for 100 million. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Right.
I'll take that money. Pay me.
All right, so back to the kid thing, because this is something that I'm really kind of interested in. So, all right, boom, got the kid in hand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Grown up a little bit. At what point will I notice whether he's got, the ability to actually do this thing? You know what I'm saying? To actually fight or whatnot. And what are some of the indications I could look at? Like, oh, okay, he's got some ability.
His focus and how well he retains the information. And just because he doesn't retain it right away doesn't mean he won't. But if it turns out that he likes it, that's the first step. If he likes it, that's the first step. The second step, I think, and I mean, another coach can contradict me on this one because they experience different things, but I've trained dozens of almost 100 kids. But one, how much they like it, and two, how well they retain the information that's being given to them. And it will come out naturally that, time after time that you train them. It's like, okay, I taught him that last week, let's see how well he starts to apply it. And once he starts applying it, even if he starts applying it right away, that's a clear cut sign, like, okay, he likes this and he wants this. And even if it ain't boxing, it could be another sport. Sports in general, just getting out that energy and whatever they have in them, that creativity, that it helps them. It helps them all around, and it gives them confidence.
So, all right, this is gonna like a low key humble brag, okay, real quick, that I'm gonna try to pull out of you.
Okay.
Now, if I bring my kid to you, what things are you gonna be like? Oh, he got that from Glenn. He got that from his daddy.
First of all, the belly. First of all, the gut. If you got a little pot belly on it, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's definitely Glenn. That's definitely Glenn. Nah, man, the power though. Like, I remember one time I sparred you, and I don't know, it might have been one random ass day where I was just like, I don't know, but one time you hit me in the gut, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this off. I'm gonna look him dead in his face and be like, oh, that was good, that was nice. But nah, man, you definitely shot one down the middle, right into the gut, and I had to play that off real nice. So yeah, don't let Glenn fool y'all. He got some nasty power. Like, he might be a little, but when he land one, it's night for sure.
Like we were working out the other day, and I was saying to you, I was like, listen, whatever fight I'm in, I got a good 12 seconds. I got a good 12 to 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to land this one, and then we out of here.
Right. That's what anybody hopes, man. I hope if the next fight I have, I'm hoping there's some Joe Schmo that I'm get him out of there quick, because I don't want to. I'm not a. I like to run. I'm a cardio guy, but at the same time, it's a love-hate relationship. Like, I hate spending too much energy trying to get something done. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little lazy on the inside. I work hard, but I'm a little lazy.
You know what? We were working out together, and we were drilling together. And when you're working out with somebody, your partner will sometimes determine how hard you go. So I know we were working out together, and like at first you were kind of just going through the motions, and I was like, yo, you must have forgot who I was. Nah, come on, pick it up. What you doing? Stop slowing down. Go. And then I could see it, like, in your mind, you were like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. And then you started moving back. But it's funny how, like, depending on who you work out with, they could really push you, because no matter how good you are, like, it's hard to sometimes get over that mental block without somebody else telling you, like, yo, you're blocking yourself. Like let's go.
Yeah. And no matter how good you are, you definitely, or, no matter your skill level, you definitely need partners around you who will hold you accountable. You were holding me accountable that day, because I mean, I could do that drill all day, relax. But you were like, nah, dude, speed it up. Like, you need to get going. And I was like, yep, he right. He right. I ain't gonna try to BS him right now. He right. You need to go ahead and start getting at it.
Even if I'm not able to speed it up, I'm like, nah, you know you can speed it up.
Right,
I
right.
can't speed it up.
I know better. I should know better. You know it.
No, but I'm really looking forward to, because like I know as a parent I've done these things, right, and I can help my kid, but at a certain point it's like your kid needs tutelage from somebody else. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because like there's only so much reinforcing you could do. You're already teaching them like just basic values at
Yeah.
home. Then it's hard to sometimes transfer that unless you're like a professional. Like Kobe Bryant, obviously his kid sees him out there, or he used to see him out there. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah.
But like anybody else, like their child, Shaquille O'Neal's child, whoever, Dwayne Wade's child, whoever's child, they see them out there practicing. So it's easy to be like, okay, I'm gonna do what dad says because he's a professional in this. But I'm not a professional, but I know what I'm doing. If I'm telling my kid, they're gonna be like, I mean, who are you to tell me? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to bring them to somebody else where they can reinforce the thing that Pop is saying and being like, okay, now go to this person or whatever. And that's why that's a lot of the reason why I was like, oh, I wanted to talk to you, because you work with kids so often, that you kind of know what it takes for kids of all ages kind of to get that, you know what I mean, to get that training, to get that the love of the game, the love of the fight sport.
Well, absolutely. And I don't think it's there's no shame in seeking counsel or more knowledge from other people, especially if you're training your kid. Like, if you wanted to train your own kid and you know enough to get them started, then get them started. Absolutely. Like, when I first started coaching, I mean, even as a coach, you're still learning. No matter who says what, the absolute truth is that every single coach, whether it be boxing, kickboxing, basketball, they're always learning. So, there's no shame in seeking counsel or seeking information with other coaches or other people who do the same thing you do, or even if you did just enough to teach your son or daughter how to get started. Um, I still ask a lot of questions myself. I ask other coaches, especially those who've been in the game for a very long time, and I still want to be a better coach at the end of the day. And I feel like if your kid comes along and if all you know is the 1 and 2, which is the most important punches in boxing, then you teach them the 1 and 2, and you drill it and you drill it and you drill it, and you make sure it's second nature for them to the point where nobody can touch them.
Mm.
Uh, but definitely keeping the hands up, the chin low, and just protecting yourself and fight back. Don't show
Yeah.
your ability to nobody. Don't concede. Just fight back. Defend yourself. Stand up. Have confidence, and that's most important. I feel like if anybody could do that, it's the parent. I think a lot of parents don't give enough confidence to their kids. It really starts at home. In my
Mhm.
experience, what I've seen, it really starts at home. And some of the most confident kids that I've had in my program already have confident parents who instill confidence in them. And me teaching them how to box only made them more confident. I mean, obviously, there's value in kids who don't have any confidence and they come to a boxing gym and they start to get it. Uh, but confidence definitely starts at home. And when home's not working, that's where you have people like me for,
Mhm.
but definitely starts at home. And when it's at home, it's a lot more beautiful and beneficial for the child.
Mhm. What are the traits that when a kid comes to you and they have certain traits, what are the traits that you see in like someone who's young starting out doing this, that you're like, oh, okay, this person's going to be able to excel?
Um, I look for, I mean, I look for a couple of things. One, coordination. I mean, I could tell if the kid's been doing some other sports, if they're coordinated, they learn really quickly. Or, I mean, some people are just fast learners, but I could tell right off the bat if a kid has done another sport because he's highly coordinated. Oh, either that or he came out the womb with that. Like, but yeah. And confidence. Confidence is the most important to me. I think even if a kid doesn't have confidence, if I could help give them confidence or help them bloom, like that's cool. But yeah, coordination and confidence.
Mm.
Those are the two things I look for, because I feel like even if the kid doesn't have skill, as long as he's confident, he believes in himself, or his parents helps him believe in himself, I'm like, okay, this kid obviously has a future no matter what he does. And if he really likes this, then he's gonna have a future in boxing. But confidence is the most important one that I look for.
Yeah, it's funny. You were saying like they came out of the womb with certain traits. Stephanie, right? She has like I don't know if you held Miss. She has some heavy hands. Have you ever? Did you ever hold Miss Stephanie?
I have.
Yeah,
Damn
she
near
has
broke
some
my arm.
heavy hands, and I'm like, if the kid comes out with her hands and like my body, I'm like, that's going to be a lot of power, yo.
Absolutely. I've held pads for her. She got some stones. She got some real stones. No lie,
Like
for real.
I think she was telling me I think her uncle or like like someone in her family, I think related to like her mom or like they were a boxer, right? And and their boxing ability, they had like a pretty solid record or whatever. So like with that combination, and then my family's athletic, you know what I'm saying? I'm able to do what I can do. It's neither here nor there, whether I was, what I'm saying, like one of the greatest untrained boxers ever, you know what I'm saying? Uh like I know the kid's gonna have some of that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
Right.
Stephanie said her uncle was a boxer. So I mean, with the hands and the athletic ability, and then kind of the pedigree, I feel like this kid coming out can be a little something. You know what I'm saying? If you give him
most definitely. I think your kid's gonna be a force to be reckoned with, for real, for real. And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what you got in your family line. Stephanie just said like her great uncle was a
yeah
boxer. I
yeah
had did like an ancestry test, and I found out one of my uncles was a boxer from New York or something like that. Like he knew some folks down there. He used to squabble with the best of them. I'm like, okay, like coincidence, but maybe not.
right.
Maybe something retained in them genes. Maybe down the line, my ancestors were some warriors. Warrior class folk.
Nice. Some Usakis, right?
Right.
So you started at like 12 doing just training kind of on your own. When did you know you were going to do like the fight thing? And when did that come alive in you?
So what's funny is that I remember I was looking for a job. I worked at a few gyms before the UFC gym. I was looking for a job, and I came in. The manager was like, "Why do you want to work here?" I was like, "Dude, I watched the freaking UFC. I'm a big fan of martial arts, And the manager at the time, he was like some black belt in like modern artis or something. He called it. I don't know. It's like some weapons form of combat. But yeah, I remember I was cleaning up one day, and one of the coaches came in, and shout out to my first coach, Tom Wilson. But he was like, you cleaning up this place. You the only person that you the first person I seen clean up this place. And he was like, what are your goals? And I said, I wanted to learn how to fight. Like I know some things, but I really want that formal learning, that training. And he was like, all right. He was like, well, put some gloves on. And when I tell you he beat the hell out of me, it was bad. That he beat me up. And he was like, if you like this, you will come back and do it again.
Right.
And I was like, all right. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little upset that I got beat so easily, but I mean, he's a trained killer. You know what I'm saying? He's been doing it since he was a
So
kid.
I know Tom, and Tom is like mad unassuming. Like if you saw
He
Tom in the
is.
street, you would probably be like, "Yo, I'll whip your ass." But Tom will handle you. He will, yeah, he will give you that work.
Tom looks like you, man. Even with a shirt, what's funny is that with a shirt on, he looks like a skinny dude. But when he takes the shirt off, he's like a white Francis Ngannou's. You know what I mean? Like he's strong for no reason. And
Right.
he been wrestling since he was I forgot. I think he was wrestling since he was like 10 or so. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, he beat the hell out of me. First time I was there, I think I was like 22, 23 or something like that. And then he was like, if you like it, then we'll keep training him. But if you don't, it's not meant for you. So yeah, I took it seriously from then on.
I missed that. Yeah, that was like that was a great time because we used to we used to go to UFC Gym in Arlington, train there, and there was a lot of dope trainers there that taught a lot. Gary Peebles. That was remember Gary.
Oh yeah, shout out to Gary. Gary, man.
Yeah, shout outs to Gary, man. That's my guy. He went off and he lived his dream. He's a stuntman down in Atlanta. But I was training with him. I remember one time I was sparring with Gary, right? And this is how nasty Gary was. I threw what I thought was a pretty quick combination. You know, back in the day, I had less of a belly. I was able to get him off. I threw 2 punches, and then I don't know what happened, but I just remember I was back to guard, and he had hit me 3 times, and I just stopped. I was like, what was that? What just happened? Right. Like, I remember throwing out 2 punches. I don't remember him coming back. I just remember getting hit 3 times and being back in my stance and looking at him, and he's just like ready, bouncing around. I'm like, what was that? What just happened?
Gary is the closest thing I've ever seen to a, you know, those superhero characters. They don't do much, but they do a lot. I mean, they can fight. Like, Gary is the closest thing to a superhero in real life that I've ever seen. That dude is a freak of nature. Like, I've never seen anything like him ever. I mean, there was one time I seen him kick the bag like 2 or 3 times before he even touched the ground. Like, he jumped, he kicked the bag like 2 or 3 times, and then he landed on his feet. And I was just like, what? Like, what the hell? Dude, he's nasty. He's nasty with it. Like, he got hands for sure.
And he's also 230 pounds. That's a lot of man to do those things. It's kind of sick, you know what I mean? That what he can do. Slide over to your right just a little bit so the people can see. There you go. There you go. Wiggle in so you can see those guns. Oh, you got the level up. Okay. All right. I appreciate that.
The gym is called Level Up, and your brand is called Level Up Comedy, which is ironic.
We got to do a show at the gym, bro. You gotta let us do a show at the gym.
Sure. Yeah, they got space. They could do it.
So here's another question for you, just because it goes into what we're talking about. Like, what are like some other sports that kids play? Like, if someone is coming from another sport, what sports translate the best into going into the fight game?
That's a good question. I've seen so many kids. So, one of them I've seen. I've trained so many athletes too. I think football, when it comes to aggression and knowing how to deal with pressure and pain, I think football players got it. Football players, when it comes to stamina and I think soccer players, I've trained kids who play soccer and they got stamina for days. I think the one thing I've seen translate almost perfectly was dancing. Yeah, obviously, if you can dance and you got some good coordination, you could figure this out. I mean, a lot of what boxing is legs. A lot of people think that when you boxing, that all your power and everything comes from your shoulders and your arms, and really it's all legs. It's coordination, it's balance, it's form, and it's technique. So you ain't got no coordination, you ain't got no balance, you ain't got nothing. You know, you can't fight, you can't do anything. So learning how to keep a beat or, you know, carry a cadence is it's very important in boxing. A lot of, you know, when you see a coach hold mitts and you hear a lot of ba 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 ba, that's all. It's rhythm, it's coordination, it's, you know what I mean. So it's very, very related to dancing and music. And I tell my clients all the time that boxing is a very fast-paced game of chess, except you're punching each other. You're punching each other,
right?
And you're dancing at the same time. It's like you're doing 3 things at once. You being violent, you playing chess, and you dancing all at once. So, but one of the sports I've seen translate very well is football and soccer, obviously, and but the one I've seen coordinate the most or translate the most is dancing. I know a dance when I see one. When they're boxing, I know a dance especially when they're kickboxing. I can call them out real fast. They got so much. They got so much control over their body, and I'm like, you dance, don't you? And it's usually the women too. The women learn faster than men. That's what we don't talk about a lot in the boxing classes and stuff like that in the community, because Men usually come in with that oh bro, I can, I could fight. I watch UFC, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Anytime someone comes in and boxes, I can tell like the first like two or three punches whether I could beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like when they hit the bag, it's like, oh, this dude, what's going on there? My hands are weak.
Right. Yeah, I do that, man. I do the same thing. I just be looking at folks like, I take you, I would take you, I take you, I'm gonna knock you out for sure. And then
Right?
it's always the cockiest dudes too. Like, I think the most difficult people to train is men, like the bros, like the guys who they got a point to prove. They just want to hit the bag as hard as they can or punch something as hard as they can. They don't learn. They just
Mm.
they just want to prove how tough they are. And those are usually the ones that get their feelings hurt real fast. I've had dudes like, come on, that's Coach Aaron. I've had dudes come in with their girlfriends and being like, "Yeah, babe, I'm gonna show you how to do this. I'm gonna show you how to do that." And then I start holding pads for them, and they get tired so fast because all they
Right.
want to do is punch so hard. And then their girlfriends get on the pads and they're coordinated. They learn fast. They listen well, and the technique is just on point. They got natural ability to control their hips and legs. So it's embarrassing for them. And then
Yeah.
when the guys get disappointed, they're like, "Oh, we're not coming back here." Like this place sucks. It's like, bro, like you should listen to
Yeah,
your watch your girl.
there's it takes a lot to unlearn that trash. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like because
yeah.
as a dude, it's like, oh, I could fight, and you've been
Uh-huh.
throwing punches, and you don't realize how uncoordinated you look when you're throwing those punches. And it's really hard to unlearn that
Yeah,
uncoordinated, autodidactic technique,
it is.
as
Yeah.
they say. Like your autodidactic is way more terrible than my autodidactic. You should have
Yeah,
watched more Wesley Snipes. You should have watched
absolutely.
more Passenger 57.
I seen my fair share of crazy dudes. Like I can't tell you how many times dudes came into the gym trying to posture up and peacock and try to put a coach on their resume. I took that dude out, or I getting challenged left and right, and I put him down, or I leave him with their head low. You know, because it's just cockiness. It's not skill. It's not experience. It's just a bunch of dudes watching TV too much, and then they want to go in the gym and prove how tough they are. It's you'd be surprised how many people do that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Gabriella said the hips don't lie. You need to get her in there. She needs to come down for a class
Hey,
and
tell
work
her
out with
come
you.
through. Tell her come through. Tell her come through. I'll get you right.
Man. So yeah, man, we have a little bit of time left, and I just I'm having a lot of fun talking with you, going back over these old things, reminiscing about some of our old coaches
Oh
that we
yeah.
used to be. Justin, man, that dude he was dynamic, man. He had so much skill. He was so athletic, and I just can't believe, like, I used to actually be able to get in the ring and hang, and not hang, because if most of the coaches, I mean, not most, all of the coaches, they could have dusted me off if they wanted to.
Nah, you have
But in
some
terms of
toes,
like a
man. Don't
training
sell yourself
thing,
for it.
in terms of like a training thing, we were able to get in there and hang. Like, so Justin Joel, got to give him a shout out.
Joel.
I remember he used to stand on my back in class. You know what I'm saying? Like that was woo.
Yeah, shout out to
Noel,
Joel.
who I'm currently working out with, he went out to San Jose, and he was going to be in a fight team, and then the pandemic messed that up. Another great fighter. All these great people that we used to train with. So I miss having that camaraderie of the gym, of having all these different coaches, because it was all these coaches. They all had different styles though, and they were
Yeah,
all, what I'm saying, that everybody was dynamic. If we could, I wish we could recreate that.
bro, we were lucky. I think our gym had one of the greatest lineups of coaches because everybody learned from each other, everybody respected each other, and everybody was capable. Everybody was dangerous. Every coach that we've ever had in that gym was dangerous to some degree, whether it be, I mean, better than the average guy. And all of them, most of them, I think there was only one of them that didn't have any fight experience, but most of them had fight experience. So I feel like when you have that experience, you're more dangerous than the average guy. and all of them had great personalities. None of them really ever clashed or butt heads because we all knew what we were capable of, and we didn't really want to find out who was, none of us wanted to take that walk of shame.
Right.
But we were always constantly learning from each other, especially when it comes to the structure of classes. We just wanted to make everybody just learn.
Everybody was trying to have the best class, and it made it great for me because it didn't matter which class I chose. I knew I was getting a different workout. There was never like, oh, let me do this person's class because it's easier. You know what I'm saying? It's like Gary's class was killing us, then Joel's class was killing us, your class was killing us, and then I was doing the fight training with Terrence too, Terrence is the man. You know what I'm saying? So he's an older coach. He got a body like mine. You know what I'm saying? We both got a little belly, but it's funny. I remember he was sparring. Who was he sparring with? He was sparring with some dude who was one of these little hothead dudes, right? So he thought he was hot. So he tried to come out, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll spar with Terrence." And he got in there, and he was like, just moving his arms around, swinging a lot. And Terrence was just like, "Okay," and he was just like letting him go off because even though dude was swinging, Terrence was able to, he was just sidestepping him, doing a little slip here, slip there. And then and dude was hot for like the first round, and then Terrence and then the second round came out. The way Terrence dusted him off, it was so thorough, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a savvy veteran, because you know what I'm saying, like he was older, you know what I'm saying? He was a little round, you know what I'm saying? But the way he was dusting him off and his technique was just amazing.
Amazing. And he was quick. Terrence was quick for his size. Like, just imagine if he was in shape at the time. Like, he definitely would have put dude out of his misery. But I
think, didn't we have to stop the spar? We were just like, I think we had to stop. We had to like ring the bell for dude because he was getting.
We had to play that off. We was like, oh yeah. It's over,
As a matter of fact, I think he took a knee. I think Terrence beat it to where he took a knee and he's just like, I gotta chill.
Yeah. And you know what? I think Marcus was there too. Marcus, shout out to Marcus, but
Marcus.
Marcus,
how could I forget Marcus?
Stopped him. Yep, it was Marcus. He was like, man, go ahead, Terrence, don't do that to him. Like, he was like, all right, I'm not gonna do it.
But it was dude's fault. He came out throwing like he was, you know what I'm saying? The man. That's the other cool thing about sparring. It teaches you about like metering. You know what I'm saying? Like you come out and you kind of just you meter yourself. You don't throw everything you got in like the first round or the first little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like you said, the fight game is kind of like chess. It's like chess with punches. So you're kind of filling each other out.
You gotta be careful though, because when you're a guy with experience in your sparring, I always say that the most dangerous people to spar are the new guys, because especially if you have experience and you know how to meter yourself, the new guys don't know how to meter themselves. So while you're taking it easy on them and trying to protect them, from you, sometimes you forget to protect yourself from them. And they might come in there and throw some crazy stuff, or I don't know, windmill, karate, I don't know. They might do some crazy stuff on TV, and then you get caught up and you get cracked by some idiot who just came into the gym because you took them too lightly because they ain't got no skill. So that almost happened to me once. Like I was taking it easy on some dude, and he didn't have any skill, but me taking him lightly, he cracked me when I wasn't looking. Like he hit me, and I was just like, oh, okay. And he was like, all right, I'm done. Took the gloves off. He got that one hit. He was done. Saw him again another day. He was like, hey, you want to spar? I was like, yeah, we'll spar. So I put on the gloves. He's like, you not gonna put on the headgear? I was like, no, I ain't gonna put on the headgear. This gonna be quick. So long story short, I put him down with a liver shot, and I taught myself a lesson that day. I was like, don't take new people lightly. No matter how good you are, you know what I'm saying? Like you can clown around and then you get caught by something stupid.
You know what? You should have treated him like Tom treated you and just whipped his ass and said, if you want to come back, you will.
Now I do it. I do it now. I learned my lesson that day. So now anytime somebody new come along and they want to prove a point, I could smell that I want to beat you up coming out there, like coming from their pores. Like I could smell it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to put you out early. I'm going to just put you out early. I'm going to sit you down.
Oh man. So we talked a little bit earlier. You like back in the day, you're big into skateboarding. I don't know. Are you still big into skateboard and anime? Are you still big into that now?
So I haven't watched anime in a while. I mean, I'm still big on the old stuff. I'm not really. I'm not very. I lose sight of the new stuff very fast. Like as soon as I see it, I'm like, It's not like the old.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm a bit of a bigot when it comes to like certain things.
A traditionalist, not a bigot, a
Traditional.
traditionalist.
I'm not. It's 2021. Just say it like it is. I'm a bigot. I'm a bigot. No, I'm playing. No, I think I've been wanting to skate lately. Like I've been wanting to get back out there because I still have some skill. It's just that I can't get hurt. Because I gotta train people, so I gotta take it easy. So one of those things I've been doing is I've been wanting to do is just cruise around, put my music in, just cruise the city or something like that, like I used to do when I started getting a little bit older. My body stopped healing, and I'm
Yeah.
young, so I feel like you know once you've been doing certain things with your body and then you stop, like your body's like, oh, all right, we got time to relax,
Yeah.
and then you start getting re-injured, like old injuries you had, like they start popping up out of nowhere, and I'm just like, I gotta take it easy. So if I want to keep on training and training other people, if I want to skate again, I gotta take it easy. I can't be doing no crazy stuff like I used to do. So
Yasuke, that's the new anime on Netflix. About the first black samurai
I
in
didn't see
Japan.
that. I've been wanting to check it out. I didn't see it yet. Did you see
I,
it?
I liked it. I thought it was dope. I kind of rock with it.
There was a lot of complaints about it.
You know what? I haven't read the complaints, so I don't know. But I might have agreed with them. There are some things that I was like, yeah. But overall, I was like, this is kind of dope to see. So I kind
He,
of I
he
I
got the
rock with it.
recognition. That's all I care about.
Yeah, for sure,
We
for
we need
sure.
a lot of recognition or representation. That's the only thing I care about at this point is representation. Good
All
movie,
right,
bad
so
movie, whatever.
here at the Blerd podcast, usually people get burning questions, right?
Hmm.
Things people want to ask you. But here we have a blurting question, which is,
Okay.
Black nerd question. So our blurting question for you today is, if you could create an anime universe centered around skateboarding, describe the main character and the abilities that they or their skateboard has.
Oh, oh man, that's a good question. Uh, Obviously the lead character will be black because we don't see a lot of black characters in anime. And two, the skateboard would have maybe some technological abilities or some magical abilities where it literally could do the first thing he thought, and or it could attach to his feet whenever he wanted to, and he could land any trick he wanted. But I kind of would treat it like I would create it like Pokemon. I would kind of piggyback of a Pokemon or something like that, where
Hmm.
you just go around just skating against people, playing skate, which is like the it's like the skateboard version of horse, like basketball, but
Okay.
skate.
Oh, but you have to do it with tricks.
Yeah, you have to do it with tricks. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's a very popular game that we've all used to play when we skated back in the day. But I would kind of treat it like that. Like, this kid wants to be the best skater in the world. He's black, and he wants to break stereotypes, and he just goes around just going against every skater in every competition. But his board has like some magical abilities, or one day he stumbled across like a something sacred or ancient that allowed him to control the board whatever way he wanted.
Mm. You know what? That would be dope. Listen, if it's going to be like Pokemon, the skateboard's got to talk back too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like that.
I'd like to see that. The skateboarders talking back, and then you got the whole universe of different people with their different skateboards, and they're all saying,
Right, right.
like, what, like, yo, don't try the 360 today.
Right. Oh, maybe everybody's skateboard got some magical ability, but maybe my character got the best one, or maybe
Right.
maybe it's the most revered one or something like that.
There you go. Shoot. All right. Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, we got to get you up on some new anime. I'm trying to get back into different anime. I have my old school favorites, like Fist of the North Star, Ninja Scroll, like
Yeah.
these super old school ones. But I'm trying to get more into the new stuff. They got like like My Hero Academia and
Yeah.
what else is out there? Attack on Titan, I believe, and
I've seen a couple. I've seen the first season of that. I need to get back on that because it looks good. The second season on it looks good. So,
but there's a lot more representation. There's like a lot more that's happening in like the anime game. And I mean, I'm in this Facebook group that's Black comic creators, and they have a lot of cool comics that are original comics. Oh, my sister's in here. She said, I'm new to anime. What should I start with? Hit her with some old school classics.
oh man, start with See, I'm not old school, but start with Yu Yu Hakusho. Start with Yu Yu Hakusho. That was my
Yu Yu
start.
Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho. That's my joint right there, man. I could watch that. I could watch the whole show, all the seasons. I could watch all of it over and over and over again. Never get tired. That show was dope. What's another one? I don't know. There's so many. I think Yu Yu Hakusho was one of my favorites that actually had good writing and character development and stuff like that. If you're looking for something that's not just blowing stuff up and people fighting each other, I mean, that's what I'm usually into. But I think Yu Yu Hakusho had great character development and stuff like that.
So, and then I'll say my friend's talking about. My mama chimed in. Your mama have no idea about animus. What is it?
Anima?
It's cartoons, Mom. It's cartoons.
Oh, right.
You should check out My Hero Academia out here. That's really good. I wanted to start watching that. Another one that I like, it's just super silly. It's called One Punch Man, which is it's just funny to me to have a concept of this superhero character who's like, I literally don't ever lose. I just punch them one time and I win.
I think out of the new ones I've checked out, that's my favorite one because it's kind of like it kind of seems like a parody, and then you just love it. You love it. You love the fact that it's a parody. It's like, yeah, like you said, this guy he just punches people and he wins. That's it.
I love it. I love it too because they asked him like, "Yo, how'd you get so strong?" Because he literally is like Superman, right? And he's like, "How'd you get so strong?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups in the morning." That's it.
Yo,
that's all I do.
Can't be doing that, and I did not get the same thing he got. So I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, listen, if you do that, you will surprisingly be very, very sore by the end of the week if you try to do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. Like, so maybe he is, able to do that. Listen, we've had an amazing time. It's been really, really fun chit-chatting with you, bro. Tell them where they can find you. Tell them where you're coaching at. Tell them about, your new classes or whatever. Tell the people how they can reach you.
So I'm on First things first, I'm on Instagram. Black Bear Boxing, bear as in a black bear. Black Bear Boxing _fitness on Instagram at Black Bear Boxing, and I'm also I have another Instagram and Facebook account, but we ain't gotta get into that. So just at Black Bear Boxing _fitness. If you want private training, whether it's boxing or kickboxing, I'm your man. If you want to just get in shape, I'm your guy. If you want to get beat up, I'm still your guy.
Right.
If you want to learn how to beat other people up, I'm still your guy. So just reach out to me. Let me know what you want to do. I'll let you know my rates. I'm in the DMV. So if you're in Virginia, Northern Virginia, I'll come out to you. If you're in DC, I'll come out to you. If you're in Maryland, I'll come out to you. None of you Southern Maryland folks, I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. I ain't driving out.
It's way too far.
That's too far. That's too far. You have to come to me. But yeah, just hit me up if y'all want to know how to defend yourselves, man. I teach self-defense. And I honestly feel like if any of you are struggling with confidence, no matter who you are or what you do, I think the best confidence you can get is just knowing that you're safe and that you could defend yourself in any given moment, and that you could be prepared for anything, even if you really aren't. To feel like you are is just enough. So if any of y'all want some confidence, you want to get in shape, or you want to learn how to fight the right way, hit your boy up. I got you.
Dude, I still need to take you up on that class. Like, I still got to
Oh
get
yeah,
some one-on-ones, bro, because this belly's got to go away. I can't
yeah.
have this kid out here thinking his daddy's chubby and doesn't have hands, you know?
Tell them that's where your source of power comes from. That's all you gotta do. Just tell them that's my source of power, son. That's where I
Right?
get all my energy, my power from.
That's where my chi is. My chi is in my belly.
Exactly, exactly. And you're not wrong. So
There you go. All right, man. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming out. Y'all heard him, Black Bear _fitness. Check out my man Kevin Lewis. He'll get you right, get them hands right.
thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. Shout out to Level Up Comedy. And obviously, if any of y'all are interested in kickboxing in the Lanham area of Maryland, definitely hit up Level Up Boxing, Level Up Training Center. They got some good programs here if you're into kickboxing as well. Level up.
There we go.
That's what
2021. It's all about leveling up, baby.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, brother. Love you. Stay safe. Stay
All
safe.
right. Look, there we go. That was my boy Kevin Lewis. What can I say? He told y'all I got hands, okay? I got power, and it comes from my belly. That's what we learned today. Confidence is the number one thing that you need to have, and the number one way to get it is to be sure of yourself, be able to take care of yourself, defend yourself in situations, or at least have the illusion that you can take care of yourself or defend yourself. This was such an awesome episode. I had a lot of fun talking to him, and I've learned a lot over the last few weeks, right? And I only got a few more weeks until I actually get to put all this into motion and into action. It's scary. We're having a countdown, y'all. There's a countdown. Baby's coming. Baby is coming soon. And we're going to have some good times. I'm going to have another buddy of mine talking next week. My buddy Chris Allen, who's a comedian from the DMV, just recorded this special. We're going to have some fun talking, and he's going to talk to me about fatherhood too. Give me some gems as well. I don't know if he's got hands, but he might need them. He might not need them. We're going to be zooming in. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've had a great time talking to you all. Thank you so much for checking out the Blerd podcast. We will be back next week with my buddy Chris Allen. Talk to you later.